Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Principles of Project Management. Throughout the course of the semester, we're going to learn how the plan ultimately comes together. And we'll do this by understanding the overall process, learning the different aspects of the process groups, and in particular, every document at the detail level that's required for a successful project. As the project manager, you are responsible for the project documents, and you'll see that they are a vital part of the project's success. There are a number of project responsibilities and many documents throughout the project lifecycle. We'll delve deeply into the essential project documents and their details using group work to simulate what it's like to work on an actual project. We'll synthesize the project documents and your role as the project manager, so by the end of the semester, you'll see how it all comes together. Are you worried that maybe you're not super organized? Well, organizational ability is very important for a project manager. If you're not as organized as you could be, then practice, practice, practice. You can develop the discipline to become an excellent project manager. Throughout the course, I'll also share tools and techniques that you can use to create a sound structure. Let's look at the overview of the key documents that we'll be hearing about throughout the course of this semester throughout the project lifecycle. We'll gain practical experience with key documents at a detail level and then bring it all together in the last 3 weeks of the semester. Whether you're building a road, a pipeline, skyscraper, or you're organizing an event, the journey from conception to completion follows a predictable path known as the 5 phases of project management. These 5 phases are the initiation phase, planning, execution, monitoring, controlling, and closing the project. Let's take a look in phase 1, the initiation phase, where we begin by signing the project charter and appointing the project manager. The project charter gives you the authority and resources to manage the project. The project sponsor signs the project charter after you complete the feasibility study. Once you take charge of the project, you identify the stakeholders. Consider a project constructing a house. You'll first identify stakeholders such as who will be living there and collect their requirements. So your first question is, who are the stakeholders? In phase 2, you'll create the detailed project plan outlining every step required to complete it by defining the scope of the project baselines, and the subsidiary plans, communication, risk, quality, and procurement. In the same constructing the house example, you'll collaborate with team members to develop project plans, assign tasks to the team members, and in this phase, you'll ask questions such as, what is the deadline? What is the budget? What resources do we have to work with? What are the risks? What are the milestones? And what project management software should we use? The key deliverable in this phase of the project include delivering the project baselines, the statement of scope, the communication plan, the risk management plan, providing the timeline through a visual chart such as a Gantt chart, the milestone chart, and the work breakdown structure. And we'll go into each of these in detail throughout the course of the semester. Next, we move into phase 3, where you spend most of your time and budget building the product or service. At the beginning, you'll conduct a kickoff meeting to give your team a project brief. Afterward, you'll create workflows and start the work to complete the actual project. If we use the same house construction example, the concrete is poured, walls are constructed, and the windows are installed. All of the planning is put into action in this phase. You'll ask the following questions. Are the resources allocated efficiently, or are there any unexpected issues? Best practices for this phase include a kickoff meeting with your project team to walk through the key elements of the project plan, ensuring that there are no doubts. Clarity is your friend. You'll consider whether cloud-based software is appropriate or whether you'll use software locally in-house. The key deliverables from this project phase include research assignment, execution of tasks, kickoff and status meeting, project schedule updates, refining the project plan, and providing status updates. Next, we move into the monitoring and controlling phase to ensure that the project is progressing as planned. Project managers use key performance indicators, KPIs, and metrics to measure and compare the project's performance against the original plan. Some KPIs used to measure and evaluate performance are cost performance, schedule performance, quality performance, and risk performance. In the house example, you'll monitor the performance and progress of the work, the budget, and timelines to ensure that things stay on track. In this phase, you'll ask some of the following questions. What is the project quality? Are we over or under budget? Are we on schedule? Are there any roadblocks? And are we still projected to meet the deadlines? Best practices for this phase include monitoring the risk register and watching out for any risks, tracking the progress and identifying bottlenecks before they impact the schedule or the budget, conduct regular meetings with stakeholders, monitor the critical path, and if you need additional resources, be prepared to set new expectations with your stakeholders. The key deliverables for the monitoring and controlling phase include the ongoing status reports, progress reports, and project performance reports. And we'll talk about all of these in more detail. You'll also be required to submit 3 status reports for your individual project. So you'll have the opportunity to do this in a simulated way. Finally, we move to the last phase, which is project closure, where you deliver the final project deliverable to the client, you update the lessons learned, and you close the procurement agreements. Many project managers hold an official closing meeting and throw a closing party to congratulate the team and celebrate their success. In our house construction example, at this stage, you're done with your construction and ready to move your furniture in. Some of the questions that you'll ask at this phase include, what went well? What did we learn? What can be improved the next time? And are there any steps that we can avoid in the future? Best practices for the closing phase include performing a postmortem analysis, often called a retrospective, to learn from the completed project so future projects can be improved. All project documents must be stored in a common repository for easy auditing and future reference. And the key deliverables associated here is the solution is handed over to the client and is implemented. The user acceptance is signed off. Project closure report is completed. The retrospective meeting happens, lessons learned are recorded, and the knowledge base with all of the artifacts is updated for future use. Welcome to the Principles of Project Management. I will be your instructor for the remainder of the semester. I know that film presents so many different concepts, and right now it might feel a little bit daunting. Take it step by step. If you go week by week, each process builds on the last, and once you get to the end, you'll be able to relook at this video and realize how far you've come. Let me be the first to congratulate you on choosing NYU. The school has a tremendous reputation and global presence. There are alumni all over the world who are doing incredibly well. And take this opportunity here to begin to broaden your network and connect with alumni. LinkedIn is a tremendous resource, and you can begin to network and build your future network. It's a really important aspect of your career success. So welcome, and I look forward to our journey together.